Welcome to the 2022 Heart of America Baseball Media Day. I'm your host, Stephen Davis, and right now we're excited to be joined by the head coach at Baker University, Ryan Goodwin. Coach, thanks for spending some time with us today. How you doing?
Doing great, except for the snow apocalypse we got going on today, but it's not too bad. Luckily, it shouldn't affect us too much in our preparation as we go forward, and we're not getting as much right now as we thought. So other than that, doing great.
All right. Big things going on in your program. Brand new baseball field that you're about to unveil. Give us the details on it.
Yeah, actually, if everything went according to plan yesterday, hopefully all the grooming aspects of it are done. And once the snow's off, we're going to be able to get on it finally. As much as anything, our guys are really excited about the new indoor facility we have down the right field line as well. We've been in that now for about 2.5, 3 weeks. It's already bringing a new excitement to our program. Just definitely on the day-to-day aspect, our guys love going in there. It used to be in the past, we're the way we had to practice inside, we're getting guys maybe 50 swings a day. Now we're getting them, 150 swings a day. They can come in multiple times and hit. It's just the different amount of ways we're able to coach our guys up now has been incredible for us. And hopefully it translates onto the field. We'll get more into the team here in a second, but I think we're getting these facilities at the perfect time with a good group of guys to hopefully kind of push our program forward from where we are at this point.
It's great to have an indoor facility. Obviously, as you said, you can work on the hitting aspect and do some other things inside, but it's tough to work on everything inside, especially defense, things like that. How much have you been able to get outside so far?
We've still been able to utilize the football field turf to do a lot of stuff, and we're able to get a scrimmage in this past Saturday. So that part's been good. We've been able to do some of that in the past too. But on some of these days, like today, I know our guys are going to sneak into the indoor, even though campus is closed to hit and everything. And we can actually do a bunch of our individual defensive stuff. We've learned how to already configure inside the building, except for the outfielders. That's the toughest part. Probably the two biggest things we struggle with right now is getting the outfielders' eyes trained on ground balls, and then also pitchers when they need long toss. We can long toss into our cages. We do. It's just there's a little different feel between long tossing inside and outside, though. But other than that, it's like I said, the amount of things we're able to do to help train these guys for.
Hey, what have you seen from your team so far that's got you excited about their potential for this season?
Well, I know in the fall we felt like a very good fall. We feel like offensively we go about 14, 15 guys deep that in the past have all been full-time starters for us. The guys have really made some great jumps. I think we can compete with guys in multiple ways offensively. If it's a day like today where it'd be cold and maybe the wind blowing in and you can't rely on the long ball type stuff. I think we've got the athletes to execute some small ball stuff. But then also this may be the most physical team I've had to this point. We got some guys that can really swing the bat, some good bat speed guys that can put a charge on the ball. I anticipate this team probably, at least since I've been the head coach here, having our highest home run total and doubles totals because we do have some guys that can turn some fastballs around, and it's pretty exciting. And so I expect us to be good offensively. From there, on the pitching staff, we've got to be better than last year. We walked and hit too many guys. We let too many innings get away from us, and I think we are making those strides so far. In the pins and definitely in our scrimmages for, the first half of our scrimmages past week. Guys that are in line right now to throw a lot of varsity innings, they had good outings, at least pounding the zone and trying to give our defense a chance to work.
Hey, you guys made a great run a few years ago, 2019, win the conference tournament. You go to the national tournament. How amazing was that experience, and what's it going to take to do that again, to get back up there?
It was an incredible experience because it showed that we can have success at Baker, and it started to create a buzz. Now our job, and we still have some holdovers from that team, and they remember that feeling. And we got a little bit of a taste of it last year at the conference tournament, day one, when we were able to sweep 2 games on the first day and knock off a 1 seed. But we didn't finish the job last year. We didn't, we lost our next 2 games after that. So we still got to push forward with that, but it did show that we can be successful at Baker. And there is still a little bit of that DNA from that team rolled over that knows we can win here. I think the biggest thing we got to prove is that we can win on a week-to-week basis. We've proved even last year, we got off to a pretty good start, and then in March, once conference play hit, we've hit a skid, and we've had a tendency of doing that in March a lot of times. Our job's to prove that we can come out week after week after week and win games, and I think this team's got that capability. It's still kind of a young team. We are very much a junior-based team, and this is a team that really has a really good 2-year window. But I think this team can make some noise. I really do. If we stay within the framework of who we are and keep buying into the chemistry we got right now too. This team's probably as close as that 19 team was. And that was a big thing with that 19 team, is we knew we had great chemistry. And that's what held that team together all year, because we did go through some adversity throughout that year. And knew when we went to Ozark that we could win that tournament. I think this team's got that capability. It's not quite as athletic, but it's more physical. So, I see a lot of similarities between those two. I just think this team has the chance to be a better regular season team.
All right, let's name some names on this year's squad. You mentioned the pitching needs to be better. Who are some of the guys you're expecting to be your top arms this season?
Well, we got a guy that's been with us for a long time, Hunter Goody. He was on the 19. He was kind of code number ones on that 19 team. He's back again. His ERA from last year got kind of inflated because there was one bad outing at Mount Mercy. Otherwise, his ERA would have been below 4, which it had been the previous 2 years. So everybody knows he's going to give us a chance. He actually last year, when we played Central Methodist, went toe-to-toe with Nick Merkel. We lost that game 3-1. And is all, basically a couple mistakes we made on bunt plays. Otherwise, he was matching Merkel pitch for pitch. So he's capable of being a horse for us. A big transfer we got in was Caden Pogue from Hutch. He's looking dynamite right now. Hank Dobson had a really good season out of the pen for us last year and looks to be our frontline closer going into it, giving us a left-handed look there in the pen. Christian Spitz is a guy to watch out for. He actually started our last game of the year versus Culver. Actually had a really good outing. It wasn't, us losing that game wasn't really his fault. He pitched well enough to win that game. Well, he's made some great strides, and I think he's really going to be a name that's going to pop to some people this year. Ian Hendricks was in our rotation last year. I think everybody saw he's got stuff, but he had a lot of control issues, especially in his bullpens this month. You're seeing him make those jumps where he's learned how to control it. I'm really excited about what I think he can do. So I like where our 4-man rotation is going to be, and I like our depth in the bullpen. We've had some guys too, like Jackson Coach has made some very nice jumps. Jared Perenni, our center fielder, will be asked to throw a little bit more. Drake Seaton's had some nice work coming in here in January. So we've got a lot of Grant Thompson. I'd be remiss if I didn't bring Grant up. He's thrown first time he's really been healthy in 2 years, transferred from Barton, that I knew from his high school days. He'll be kind of sharing the closer's role with Hank Dobson back there. So I think we got a lot more arms we can throw this year that are game ready, and their pitch ability is going to be better. So I think the depth is going to be better on the mound as well.
All right, let's talk on the hitting side. You mentioned some athleticism, but a lot of physicality with the bats and a lot of depth. Who are some of the guys you're looking to for leadership to bang that ball around?
Well, our biggest one coming back is our center fielder, Jared Perenni. He was a second-team all-conference last year. He's got the ability to beat you with his legs and at the plate. I don't remember the exact numbers, but I want to say he had 15 doubles and 7 home runs, if I'm not mistaken, and he stole close to 20 bases. Another guy whose numbers didn't look as good as what he actually finished, Johnny Rayburn. He transferred a break last year from Central Missouri, and he missed the first half of conference with concussion. He had a great end of the season, and he's really carrying it over. Tucker Flory, who will start at shortstop for us, he's a guy that has a lot of upside to him. He had a very down year for him for what we anticipated last year. But he really closed strong at the conference tournament, had a great conference tournament, carried it over into summer ball, had a great fall. Ryan Wetzel coming back at second base. He's got a lot of upside to him as well. Brian Hawkins returns at catcher. He hit 4-hole for us most of last year. This year, we anticipate him being more in the 5-6. We got a couple big transfers in. Blaine Ray from the University of Kansas, who the last 3 years, he'd started, about a third to half of the games each year for KU. So he's got that high level experience. Actually was hitting leadoff for KU in the conference tournament last year against West Virginia. him coming in probably in our middle of the order somewhere, and then Jackson, whether he's DHing or catching, he brings a wealth of baseball knowledge, and it has had a really good January swinging the bat right now. So I really think our lineup gets pretty physical 1 through 9. Also, Hunter Goody is actually back as a full-time first baseman. We he started playing more in the month of April last year and was hitting over 300. So I really think we got a deep lineup. We're not going to be, do we have that Joshua Sandoval in the middle of the order, or like a Sergio Macias for CMU last year? Not necessarily, but I think 1 through 9 pitchers can't take a hitter off with us. I think all our guys can grind out at bats and do some damage on guys.
Good stuff. All right, we're going to close this out. We're going to do 4 quick questions. Just give me a quick answer. First thing that pops into your head. We'll see where this goes. You ready?
Go for it.
All right. Best place to eat in Baldwin City. When you got to take the staff out for lunch, where are you guys going?
If I don't say El Patron, I think my coaching staff might quit on me. I actually like Homestead Bakery, but I'm going to have to go with El Patron right now.
All right. You were a pitcher in college at the University of South Dakota. When you left, you had the career record for saves. Is that record still intact?
That, and I also set the career ERA, but it's kind of a weird twist. South Dakota, when they bumped up Division I, they actually cut the baseball program. So barring a miracle, I'm going to hold those records forever.
There you go. There you go. All right. Baker's a big academic school. What are some of the big majors that Baker provides?
Best one is business. We've had a guy the last 3 years that's graduated from our business school that has walked in as $75,000 or more a year a job. I know also biology. We had a right fielder in 2020, Dylan Prokop, jumped right away from our biology department. He's at KU Med, hopefully wrapping up here pretty soon. So I know biology in a lot of different ways you can take that, whether it's working with animals, working with medicine. Our biology department can take it a lot of different ways, especially with the Baker wetlands, that type of stuff. Our sports, or I guess exercise science department right now is really starting to blow up. Guys that want to be chiropractors, guys that want to be PT guys, that type of stuff, work with athletes on injuries and stuff. That department is really blown up. We've had a lot of baseball guys over the last 3-4 years graduate, going right into PT school or going to chiropractor school, and are already landing on their feet right when they get out. So those are the 3 that come to the top of my head right now. And like I said, we've had, in my 7 years here, we've had a lot of guys go on immediately and have success. And it's even 2 guys off last year's team. I'll mention Bailey Patton walked into a really good job at Garmin, and Brian Wierczynski's already working at the corporate offices for Top Golf. And they're not even a year out from college. So it's pretty cool to see what our business department's done with a lot of guys.
Awesome. All right, last one. We're asking every coach this. What comes to your mind when you hear Hart baseball?
Up and coming conference. I don't want to quite label us best of the Midwest, but as the conference raider, watching all the conferences in the Midwest last year, I think we were the best conference. Now, can we keep pushing it forward? I can tell you in the now going in my 7th year, the level of baseball in this conference has dramatically rose in the last 7 years. So I think we're a very much upcoming conference. I think Central Methodist in the national title game last year gave our conference a bunch of credibility.
Coach Ryan Goodwin of Baker, thanks for your time. Best of luck this season.
Thanks, Stephen. Appreciate you having me.